Well, happy Thursday. It's Laurie-Ann, and you are listening to Be in Demand. This is the podcast where I help entrepreneurs just like you leverage speaking opportunities as your best form of marketing. Today is a very special speaker breakthrough session. And if you want to learn how you can book your own speaker breakthrough session, stay tuned till the end. Vanessa, welcome, welcome. It's great to meet you here.
Ooh, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to have so much fun. I'm ready to play. Are you ready to play? Let's play.
I am. Okay. So can you tell me what you do and who you help?
Well, I'm a betrayal recovery specialist.
What?
Yes. No one studies betrayal unless you've been through it. Yeah,
Okay.
I went through it after 2 decades of being married to my high school sweetheart. He told me 3 words I never thought he would tell me. I've met someone.
Oh, I'm like in my head, I'm like, what are those 3 words?
Exactly.
Okay,
And
I've met
my
someone.
whole life completely changed. My trajectory went in a completely different direction. I fell apart. I fell into a million pieces, and I couldn't understand why I was falling apart in such a profound way.
Okay.
I'm a smart woman. I have a psychology degree. Why was I letting this just completely destroy me? And it
Okay.
wasn't until I finally asked for help, because I thought I was strong enough to do it on my own. I could fix myself and I could
Right.
totally fix him. No, no, you need help.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
asked for help and I got the help I needed. And it turned out that one of the gurus in this space saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And she said to me, Vanessa, you're a natural at this. You make a difference in people's lives just by having gone through the experience yourself. You need to stop being selfish.
Okay. How long you been doing this?
Ooh, I've been doing this since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And how do you work with people?
I love working with people one-on-one. That's where I really get into it. However, there's only so many hours in a given day, and I want to help as many as I can. So I do group sessions. I do have an academy that I run. Anything from my book. I have 2 books that have been published. So self-help there, and then all the way through to VIP one-on-one, available pretty much 20 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Okay. I like it. So what can I help you with today? Is the big thing, the big question that you would like coaching on?
I want to go big. I want to go big. I want to have a bigger impact on the people that are hurting. And I'm in a space where people aren't forthright. They don't come right out and say, I've been betrayed. I've been cheated on.
Why is that?
Shame, shame and guilt. It's a really big, prohibitive wall that comes between me and someone else. And I try to break down that wall just by being present. I am on all the various socials. I do a lot of podcasts. I get my message out there that they're not alone. I'm here.
Yeah. But there's still, you have to get over the shame wall. So are you speaking?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of your speech?
The name of my keynote speech that I do is Silencing Your Inner Critic, otherwise known as your nasty chick voice.
Okay. What's another one of your speech's titles?
Hair as a trauma response.
Hair as a trauma response?
Hair is a trauma response.
Okay. You got one more? Because you
I
need to.
definitely have one more. Working through betrayal using the hindsight window theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you get booked?
I've been blessed that I get booked on podcast as one host refers me to another host that refers me to another host that refers me to another host. Which I
Perfect.
absolutely love. I do apply for certain ones that I see that spark my interest, and I intrigue the host with my story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little compelling when you start off your pitch with, well, when you've met someone, when we need to talk is followed by I've met someone and your whole world shatters. That's what I speak about.
Yeah.
I help people get through the devastation of their partner's betrayal.
And what sort of groups and organizations are you speaking for?
Mm. Women primarily, though I do work with men. And with men, it's more one-on-one. It's never in a group type of setting. It's usually one-on-one
So,
because
what sort
like,
of women's organizations?
I will speak at any women's organization that's curious about what I do, especially related to inner critic, because I can mold that into entrepreneurship. Because
Okay.
entrepreneurship and CEOs, because I'm a C-suite executive by day, I can follow that format as well. So I love to speak in front of any audience that will give me the floor. I can pretty much mold betrayal into any scenario and your inner critic into any scenario.
Okay. So here's what I would suggest for you, because I get it that your topic, like, everybody needs. Everybody either has gone through an experience like that, they might go through an experience like that. People have experienced shame and guilt that would completely benefit from hearing you speak. However, when you try to speak to everybody, you end up speaking to nobody.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I want to suggest to you, what industry do you enjoy working with?
Mm. I love leaders. I love leadership.
Okay, but leaders and leadership is not an industry.
Correct. The industry would probably be health and wellness.
Okay. Anything, can you get more specific inside the health and wellness?
Can you give me an example? Where do you?
Well, here's what I'm trying to do for you is, because you want to create a bigger impact,
Mhm.
have a bigger impact, and help as many people as you can.
Mhm.
And the way that you can do that is to climb to the top of a mountain, maybe two mountains at the same time, so that when you get to the top of those mountains, other people that are on top of the other mountains, other industries, will then see you. But putting your efforts, focusing your efforts into one industry. So if it is health and wellness, I want you to go all in on health and wellness, not the tech, not the church groups, just like health and wellness. Here
Mhm.
I am, not real estate, not financial, not the banking and insurance. We're going to go all in on health and wellness. That way you get known in that industry.
Mhm.
Because then other people in other industries are going to be like, she's a big name in health and wellness. But I wonder if she would come and speak for our, like, women's insurance agent conference. And that's how you end up branching out into other industries.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I understand where you're going with that.
Yeah. Could you do that?
Of course. I welcome the opportunity. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's number one that I would recommend for you. And it can be really hard, I know, like, especially when you have a topic that you can help so many different people. And especially when you start looking at all the different clients that you have worked for, and you start seeing, like, well, that person worked here and this person worked there and they were this age group. And there's not that theme with everybody except that they've experienced some sort of betrayal, which just puts a knot in my stomach, by the way, even when I say that. So how else can I help you now that you're going to focus on one mountain?
Definitely one mountain. I feel that in order for me to make an impact, see, I have 3 rules with
Mhm.
everything that I do. First and foremost, it needs to be fun.
Mhm.
Vanessa, how can betrayal be fun? No, 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 no. What's fun about it is getting people to the other side of betrayal, where they can look at themselves and be like, wow, yeah, I made
Look
it.
how far I've come.
Look how far
Yeah.
I've come.
Okay.
Second is impact. Definitely want to make an impact. And I know that I make a difference in people's lives just by
Mhm.
working with me. And the third is to be profitable.
Yeah.
Absolutely to be profitable. I like all three. All three would be great. I get two most of the time.
Okay.
Two vary.
Okay. So
Get all three.
so how do you make it all of your actions that you building your business, all three?
That's the challenge. That's absolutely the challenge for me, is I just can't seem to get it right over. I can have fun with something and it be profitable, but I don't feel like I made an impact. Or it could be fun and impactful and I didn't make a profit. Or any variation of the three, but for some reason I just can't get the three to line up. And that's disappointing. And I'm not quite sure if it's that I need to hitch my wagon to somebody a little bigger than me that can kind of take me along on their journey on stage. Because that's my goal, is I want to be on stage. I feel that I can make that impact on stage and have fun on stage and be profitable.
Right.
So that's
Okay.
where I'm at. It's connecting with someone in my space that's willing to put their hand out and say, hey, why don't you come and introduce me at my event?
What I would recommend for you
Mhm.
is that you need to build relationships with other speakers that have a complementary topic to you, not speaking on the same thing, something that's very complementary. Having relationships with these people so that what you can do is that you're referring each other to events, to conferences. So, for example, like once you're done speaking at a conference, being able to have that conversation with the meeting planner afterwards to say like, hey, I know somebody who'd be a perfect fit for this conference. When do you start booking for next year? Would you like me to make that referral now? Would you like their name? Would you like me to make an introduction?
Mhm.
And that other person is doing the same for you. It's all about relationships.
It always is. It
Mhm.
definitely is. Um, Very much so.
Yeah. So something interesting came up for me when you were talking about, like the fun, impact, and profitable. And you said sometimes you don't feel like you're having a big enough impact. How do you know that you're having a big impact?
It's a fair question. Um, Maybe it's not fair to me that I think that by having a woman approach me afterwards and say, wow, I needed to hear that. I think that's my gauge. And maybe that's the wrong gauge to have, because it's not a long-term gauge. It's an instantaneous gauge. It's like throwing out a YouTube video and suddenly, the first week it's got 100 views. And then you don't look at it again for a month and suddenly it's at, 3,000 views. And you're like, wow, that's an impact. So I guess my barometer for impact is skewed.
Yeah, I think so, because you're looking externally right then and there. How many people came up to me to speak? When, if you're talking about shame, they may feel the shame and don't want to come up to you. There could be just a certain percentage of people that are in your audience who just like, oh my God, she hit me like right between the eyes. She like spoke to my soul, but they're like, it almost like they don't even just like have the energy to walk up to you to say
Right.
something. So how many people, what is your call to action at the end of your speeches?
Mm. My call to action is usually to reach out to me, to
Okay,
contact
why
me
don't
through my website, which is understandingear.com. I have a whole story that I use
okay,
recently
I have
to
a better
understand.
idea for you. You
Sure.
need some sort of a PDF. You need some sort of like a go to this website, download this audio program, watch this workshop, get this PDF, something that's even easier. Because if I'm feeling tremendous amount of shame about what happened, where I felt betrayed, I may not even have the courage to come up to you and speak to you afterwards or to book that call. Let's make it an even easier ask.
Yeah.
And this brings them into your world, onto your email list. And now you're building that relationship with them. And that email sequence, that welcome sequence that you're sending them is all about like that shame that you're feeling. Like we got to redefine it.
Right.
We have to work through that. And then being able to reiterate and tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you get over that? So that in your email sequence, then you finally say like book the call with me.
Right.
Sign up for the program.
Mm.
Like, what are those nice little baby steps for these people to take? Does that help?
Oh, yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. And the beauty of it is I already have it all in place.
And I knew you would.
Just do. It's, hey, get in touch with me, go to my website, and then everything's on my website. But you're asking me to be very specific and tell them, hey, here's a QR code, or here it is. Go right here, not something more generic.
Yeah, exactly. Like people need direction. I literally was just recording one of my solo episodes about call to actions. And it's almost like you're telling people to go climb this mountain or go on this hike. And they show up at the parking lot to this place. And it's like they see all these different paths. And it's like, I don't know which one to take. I don't know which one takes me to the lake.
Right.
Do they all go to the lake? Maybe some of them go to the lake. Maybe only one of them goes to the lake. And just being like, instead of, because what happens with people is that they see too many options. They're just going to get back in the car and they're going to drive back home. And then they didn't go anywhere. But instead, if they got to where you are, which is your speaking event, he's watching you from the stage, and then there's this clear path. It's like, go do this. And there's only, so now I only see one path that's going to take me to the lake, for
Right.
example.
Right.
Yeah. Let's be super specific.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting because when you go through betrayal, you feel so out of control.
Mm-hmm.
There's shame and guilt, but there's also an element of you don't want to be told what to do. It's a funny nuance, but you feel out of control that you want to control something.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what we talked about hair as a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through something so traumatic, you want to change something. And the thing that you can change almost instantaneously is your hair.
Interesting. Okay.
So you take a pair of scissors to hair that's halfway down your back and you cut it up to your chin, much to the horror of everybody around you, but you control it. Yeah. So I'm curious about those. I understand what you're saying about leading them exactly where you want them to go. But I also can sense that there might be some resistance to that because they feel like they're not in control of it. But
also curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought them back. So whatever it is that this download is, or this workshop, or this audio that they're going to go listen to, just make it super intriguing. Like, and for example, it could be like part of your speech, and like I dive more into that, in the audio program, and I'm going to tell you more about that later. The audience is like, I need to know what that is.
Right.
But also you are the mentor.
Right.
You're not telling them what to do, but you are guiding them.
Yes.
To the pathway. And then it's the choice.
Yes.
Hand over their emails.
Correct.
Sign up for it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. Somebody might just like open the window up on their phone and they'll hold that tab. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks until they're just like, you know what? I can't get Vanessa off my mind. I'm going to go sign up for that PDF, for that audio program, whatever it is.
And then I make an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. This was wonderful.
Good. Yes, this was. Hey, we had fun.
We did. We said we were. And that is awesome.
Okay, so we kind of like knocked off your 3. 1, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say this was impactful?
Absolutely, of course.
And the advice that I gave you, do you think you can be profitable with it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There we go. So, will you tell people where they can find you, where they can
Oh,
follow you and learn from you?
learn from me. My URL that I'm ridiculously proud of is understandingear.com. And I have so many beautiful resources there, including all of my podcast appearances, as well as my stage appearances. Some workshops are there too, all for the taking, all for the
Nice.
taking. And then the opportunity to speak with me one on one and really get to the heart of why you are in so much pain and what we can do to pull you out of it so that you can live your life by your design on purpose and with purpose, just like I do.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Mm, thank you.
So, if you're a coach or a consultant or a service provider and you are wondering how to break into the speaking world, how to start leveraging speaking opportunities, not sure what to do, or maybe you've been speaking and you just don't know how to get more bookings on your calendar, I want to encourage you to book a speaker breakthrough session at speakandstandout.com/SBS for speaker breakthrough session. And this will be a free 20-minute session, and you will walk away with actionable items to start implementing right away. So I will look forward to meeting you on your speaker breakthrough session.